I'm Sue Webb, and today we're going to do a little bit of Pilates using Mini Ball. This is a great piece of equipment, adding a new and fresh dynamic to your Pilates exercises. So what I'd like you to do first is to roll down. We're going to bring the ball with us, so articulating the spine, rolling it down. Now use these abdominal muscles to control that movement all the way down to your mat. Have a little pad for your head just to give that little bit of extra support. We're going to place the mini ball underneath your tail. So when I say tail, I don't mean up in the small of your back so you end up arched, and it shouldn't be down on your buttocks so you feel like you're sat on it. It's that range in between, around that tail area, right at the base of your spine. This should feel a comfortable position. If for any reason it doesn't, then please don't do it, okay? It doesn't suit absolutely everybody, so listen to your bodies. So you should feel a little bit of movement underneath you, which is good. That's what we want to feel. So we're going to begin with some knee folds. So we're going to take a breath in to draw that knee up gently, and a breath out to take it down. So what I'm looking for is a breath to float the knee up and a breath to take it back down. So we're just creating a soft movement to begin with, just so you get used to that feeling of the ball moving underneath you. So whether you're new to this piece of equipment or you're used to using it, it's still good to do a little bit of preparation. So that gentle knee fold movement, and being aware of that little bit of movement underneath you. One more. Now on the next one, I want you to leave the leg up in that half tabletop position. So sitting the knee above the hip, foot in line with the knee. Now we're going to bring the other leg alongside. Now as you do this, you can feel a little bit more of a connection with the abdominals, and you're a little bit more wobbly. So I'll do some toe taps. A breath to take the foot down, and a breath to bring it back. Other side, a breath to go down, and a breath to bring it back. So getting a lot more movement underneath you now with that ball, and that's all good. Okay, one more each side. So I'd like you just to stretch your leg out on the diagonal and then bring it back. And then the other side, stretch on the diagonal and bring it back. There we go, good. Stretch on the diagonal and bring it back. Other side, on the diagonal and bring it back. Now go back to those toe taps. So one toe tap. Bring it back up. Same leg, stretch to the diagonal and bring it back. Other side, little toe tap. Now connect with these abdominals, leg to the diagonal, same leg, and bring it back. Other side, little toe tap and up. So a nice steady flow of breath with your movements. Last one for this one. A toe tap and bring it back and stretch and bring it back. Now try floating one arm up, fingertips to ceiling. Have your palm facing your knee. Bring the other arm alongside and just balance. See how that feels. Can you balance? Core working really hard just to balance through the stabilising muscles of the shoulders also. And then float one arm down to release, and then the other. So putting those stabilisers back. We're going to do that one more time. So float the arms up, fingertips to ceiling. Bring the other one alongside into that balance. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Feel that little bit of movement under the ball there. Then float one arm down to release, and then the other. Then float one foot down to the floor, and then the other. So let's do a little bit of mobilising now. So if you just let your hips roll side to side, or rolling underneath, feels really good. Then maybe a little bit of forward and back, so getting into a little bit of pelvic tilt. That also feels nice through the back. And how about some circular movements? So really working through that pelvis. A few circles one way and a couple back the other way. That feels lovely through your back, great mobilising. Now I'd like you to take the ball out from underneath you and I'd like you to roll over onto your side. So I'd like you to lay with your arm, you can either have it out straight and have your pad between your head and your arm, or you can cradle head and hand, or if neither of those are good for your neck and shoulders, bring your arm out in front, but make sure you've got plenty of height on your pad to bring the neck up into alignment. Don't lay in that position. Okay, make sure you support that head. So my preferred position is here. Okay, so you're going to work in your preferred position. So knees bent up. Now I want you to place both knees onto the mini ball and bring your feet level up with your knees. Connect with that centering and just make sure you've got this little gap in the waist beneath you. So you ease the top hip down away from the bottom rib. So you just get this little bit of connection through the entire upper body. So you don't want to feel like you're sinking down into your mat. Think about your posture and this connection you have with the abdominals. Index finger on the floor. And we're going to do the clam. So you keep your feet together. So you're going to float the knee up and then gently back down. So a breath to float the knee up and gently back down. So your breathing speed, you won't necessarily be working to the same speed as me, and that's fine, but I want you to create your own rhythm. We're going to do one more at this level, so you can feel the legs moving underneath the ball. There we go. Now, take your feet up higher than your knees now. Just make sure it rolled forward through the hips. You're still stacked. Okay, and then again, let's go. Breath to bring the knee up and a breath to come down. A breath up, a breath to come down. So again, creating that precision and flow. A little bit more intense now. We've got two more. 1 and 2. Last one. Think about your posture and release. Okay, let's try that on the other side. So choose whichever position feels best for you with regard to the upper body. This is always my preferred position. So knees onto the mini ball, tucked forwards, ankles, knees and hips stacked. Okay, engage the centering, ease the top hip slightly down so you get this lengthening through the spine and this little bit of lightness underneath you rather than pushing your body down into your mat. Okay, so index finger on the floor. Here we go. Feet together and a breath to float the knee up and a breath to bring it back down. So every time the knee lifts, you stay in that stacked position, feeling the resistance through the thigh. You get it into the hip and then with repetition, it starts to radiate through into the glutes, into those muscles in your buttock. We've got one more. And then we're going to take the feet up higher than the knees, so just make sure you haven't rolled forwards. And then again lift for 5. So precision and control, you always work harder. 4, keep those feet up. 3, 2, last one, and 1. Oh, that feels good. And release down. So taking the ball away now, I'd like you to come over onto all fours, so 4-point kneeling. Hands underneath your shoulders and knees underneath those hips. Slide your shoulder blades down so you can feel that spine is nice and long. We're going to do some cat stretches. So take a preparation breath in. As you're breathing out, rounding the spine towards the ceiling. Let the neck relax and the head hang. Draw the tummy button in. Now I want to stay in that cat position and just gently push your bottom back towards your heels. not all the way, just a little way, and then come forwards. So stay in that cat stretch and gently press back. Nice and easy. And forward, stay in the cat stretch. We've got one more. Little press back, should feel really lovely. Nice release. And then we're going to lengthen the spine, returning to that long spine. And then sit your bottom to your heels. Stretch your arms out straight in front of you. Reach away. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then we're going to slowly uncurl to seated. So take a preparation breath in, breathe out, slowly uncurl, tummy button to spine, restack, head last to come up through to your seated position. So, few little ideas there with your mini ball. Okay, if you enjoyed that and you'd like to have more short sequences for mini ball particularly, please leave your comments, suggestions, feedback on this video, and then I can plan some new ones to deliver to you. So I look out for that. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.